father on Sunday, we go and see friends. You know, that's what you did. You went to this Bob's house, your cousin's house, and whatever, and friends, and we go and we visit.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they used to do. They don't visit anymore. So when my father says, "Oh, I got you nice house here. You got a great house." He says, "A big backyard. That's nice." He says, "Let me see the backyard because it's getting dark." He says, "Oh, we can't do that." He says, "Why not?" He said, "There's no lights." "You got no lights? I'll be here Saturday." Saturday afternoon, when it got dark, you opened up a thing, it was like Dodger Stadium. He had all the equipment and he did it for everybody.
Because in those days, family used to help one another.
Of course,
you know?
of course.
You know, I'm thinking about these things over here. I remember my dad, he built a big fountain in the backyard when I was a little boy. And they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 statues that would shoot water, and then one in the middle. Now, what he did, he didn't go buy a liner, you know, put some bricks.
Yeah.
They got all the mortar, he got all these guys from his construction crew to come on a weekend. Everybody gets to work, they do the cement work and everything, put in the pumps. Next thing you know, we got the fountain all lit up, lights lit up. The neighbors on a Friday, Saturday night, they stopped by, had a glass of wine. You know, my grandpa would be there pouring wine to everybody, having a party, and all the neighbors used to come over, you know, and hang out. It was fun. Who locked their doors then?
Yeah.
Nobody,
Nobody.
you know.
You know, I was fortunate enough when I was in the service in '55, because I'm an old guy, I had a chance to have some time off, and I took a train from Nuremberg, Germany, and I wound up in Siracusa, Sicily. And I met my father's sister, who never went to the United States. And it was magical. And it was so simple. I was only like 18 years old. And they had one television, we had dinner, and I'm telling you, I get goose pimples when I think about it right now. After having dinner, we'd go downstairs, and the whole families all lived within 3 or 4 blocks.
Yeah.
The kids, the nephews, the aunts, the daughters, the papa, the baba, I mean, 50 of them. And they would walk down to the corner where the big fountain was, and the sea is there. And they would go braccia brach. That's, in Italian, brach is arm. We'd walk braccia brach, and we would talk. Now, the grandfather would talk to the kids, then he'd talk to his sister, and that's what they do, communication. The communication kept the family together.
That's right.
Not like today. How you doing, Jenny? Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh
Let me
yeah,
fix
okay.
that.
I got Facebook. I got Face's on. That's what I'm doing.
Did you
when
used
it
to live in like a small neighborhood, like an Italian neighborhood?
of course.
Now, when the kids got bigger and they got married, did they move, like in where I'm from, South Philly, everybody moved across the bridge to South Jersey.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
In a
It was-
particular place called Washington Township.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, there's only a few people left in South Philly.
You know,
So, but it's different there. Everybody's got the big house, the lawn, nobody sees each
people,
other.
You know, people. It's just
It's the same
when
thing.
when I go to Chicago and I go to Taylor Street. That's where I grew up. There was a big Italian neighborhood. You know, and it was just it was just fantastic. And when I go down the street and this is gone, this is gone, this is gone, there's a little pocket left.
So where did everybody move to? Like, did
They
they
go
move?
to the suburbs.
A lot of them died. You know, all the old timers died.
No, I'm talking about the kids. Like say my daughter gets married, she's 21, 22, and she don't want to live in South Philly anymore. She moves to a place called Washington Township,
Okay.
and it's in South Jersey.
That's
She married an
It's
Italian
20
guy or
minutes.
an American guy?
Oh, see, I'm just using her as an
Mixed,
example.
yeah, yeah.
But that's what a lot of people went, and it seemed like everybody from South Philly went from here to here. It's still the same people, but they moved from here to here.
It's not.
Is it
It'll
the
never,
same thing there?
It'll be never the same.
Oh, I know it's.
All the Italian neighborhood, what's an Irish neighborhood, a
Right.
German neighborhood, it's all the same. It just evolves. Now, in the old days, you didn't have anything,
Yeah.
right? You didn't have a car, you didn't have anything.
Our
So your
neighborhood-
whole life is in with 7 square
Right.
blocks.
Our neighborhood was so tough that you could walk 10 blocks and you were still inside a crime zone.
You know, you're a little Irish too, aren't you? Yeah. Anyway,
Can you tell?
yeah, he's got that red neck.
Well, you know, one thing you guys were talking about, you know, staying in the old neighborhood. What happens is, and there's nothing wrong with this, but what happens is, You know, all these folks came over from Italy, okay? They either went to New York or to Detroit. My family happened to go to Detroit because everybody went to work for Ford Motor Company, and Chicago and Philadelphia. Okay, now you start going to, you want to meet people. So you go to the Italian club, like this, for example.
Right.
And, you know, Joe has got a nice daughter, okay? And, you know, she's Italian. And you say, hey, you know, I like this girl, so you marry her, so you stay in the neighborhood. Then later on, you start having kids, and then all your kids meet some girl at school or in college, and next thing you know, this Italian kid marries a Jewish gal, okay? And now, you know, their parents live, you know, somewhere else, and now you start splintering a little
Right,
bit,
right.
and everybody starts spreading out, and you kind of lose that neighborhood. Nothing wrong, everything good, you know? But the thing is, you know, see, you used to kind of feel comfortable hanging out with the people that you are
Of course,
comfortable
of
with,
course.
okay? And they married and this and that. So yeah, it is what it is. You know, when you were telling that story, I was thinking about my grandpa. I love my grandpa. Nonno Nicola was his name. He was 5'1", strongest man in this town in Italy. You know, used to throw rocks at people. I mean, he was a tough guy. So when I used to go to his house, I used to sit on his lap all the time, and he had the long table with all my cousins, everybody sitting, and I used to go on the bottom of the table, because downstairs in my grandpa's basement, he made wine.
Of course.
And he always had the flask on top of the table. So I'd come underneath the table, I was just a little boy, and sit on his lap and he'd get a teaspoon and give me a teaspoon of wine, because it was good for me.
Yeah.
You know? So one time I remember we went from Detroit to Toronto, Canada, and my uncle, Santo was his name, he had a nice home downstairs, he had the prosciuttos hanging, and he was making wine too. So they traded wine back and forth. So we're coming back, and my dad's driving, I'm in the back seat with my grandpa, my mom was in the front, my father, my grandpa used to sit in the back like a king. So we drive up to the immigration over there, and they say, you bringing anything? And my grandpa goes, right here, mister, right here. And the guy, what is it? Vino. He goes, you can't bring that across. Rocco, what did he say? You cannot bring, he told him to tell you cannot bring the wine. You gotta leave here. Rocco, back up the car. So my dad backed up the car. I'm sitting watching my grandpa, took the top up. Finished the whole thing. Okay, Rocco, let's go. So we go back to the thing, and the guy goes, what happened to the wine? Right in here, mister. Right here. Rocco, go. I'll never forget that. I was just a little boy. I was watching the show.
You have to understand also, when we grew up, like I say, there wasn't a lot of money, you know, and you just did what you do. There was no welfare or anything, not that we would get it anyway, or even apply for it.
No.
But I remember when I was the first one to leave home in 1960, because I thought I was going to be a movie star, and I went to California, but you can see it didn't happen, right?
Well, you're beginning now.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So anyway, my mother and father, they used to drive from Chicago to Los Angeles. So in the early days, like in the 60s, you see a sign, you are entering California, all plants and food items, fruits and vegetables will be confiscated. And my mother says, oh, stop at the car, stop at the car. She's got all this fruit. She says, Sam, eat it, eat it, eat it. He's going, I'm not chosen. What am I going to eat? Throw it away. What do I give a damn about? Oh, no, it's a waste. She's sticking it in her bra. I'm telling you, but funny stuff. Oh, man, I'm telling you, I am such a lucky man. I swear to God, to have the life that I've led and the family that I've had, and I'm happy that I was Italian, and I know that the guys who are Irish or German or whatever, it's all the same, and it's just fabulous. And I'm telling you, it's just,
We have better food.
I gotta tell you,
Yeah.
and the food is better.
I gotta tell you one funny story.
Speaking
about
of food,
a friend of mine,
Oh, you're right. So go.
we got a commercial.
we gotta
Oh,
go.
commercial.
We gotta go to a commercial. Gotta pay the bills.
Somebody's got to pay
Okay.
bills.
That's
Go,
right.
Sonny, go for it.
All right, so here we go. We got a commercial from Ralph's Supermarket, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Is still Ralph still sleeping? Or is
This is what man saw.
That was